Hello everyone. Many a times students from India or from other countries have the queries regarding how is the situation of hydro and thermal power engineering in Germany and also in Europe. There are different questions like what are the opportunities, scopes and how is the job market. So in this video we'll be trying to answer all these questions. So today I am with my Professor Dr. Andreas Weiß, who is a professor of the Thermal Energy Technology of the International Energy Engineering Masters Program. His areas of specializations are turbo machinery design in the organic Rankine cycles, applied thermodynamics and fluid mechanics in diverse fields, for example vehicle aerodynamics, and then also compressed air technologies. So Professor Weiß, thank you so much for your time to EST. Could you please also give a brief introduction of yours to other students?
Megh, you are welcome and thank you for the opportunity to mention here my considerations. Well, I'm a professor here for 25 years. You already mentioned my main topics, turbo machinery and heat engines. Originally I studied aerospace engineering, but I never worked in this field. I worked 7 years in ABB power generation in the field of gas turbine and steam turbine development.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your precious time. So for the people who see this video and me for the first time, I am Kasalkar. I try to make YouTube videos on the public universities, our OTH Amberg and engineering topics in Germany. So let's quickly start with the video. So my first question to you, Professor Sir, in the bridge module of the IEE Masters, what will the students be learning in this thermal energy technology TET module and how is it important for them in the future?
Okay, well, in the scope of the bridge module thermal energy technology, we repeat the basics of thermodynamics like ideal gas law, first and second law of thermodynamics, physics of vapors, for example steam. Yeah. Finally, we apply all this stuff for heat engine cycle investigations. The thermodynamic repetition takes about 2/3 of the available lecture time. The other third is spent on repetition of basic fluid mechanics like mass, energy and momentum conservation equation in the application in power engineering. What I have learned the last 4 years teaching foreign students, about 50% from India, it seems that some of you learned in your bachelor courses just to memorize fact, to memorize equation and to repeat them out of mind in the exams. That is not requested in German engineering studies because mostly you are allowed to use all your lecture notes. However, the students must understand physics and must be able to apply them appropriately to self-engineering tasks.
So the aim of this bridge module is also to teach the students on how is the studying culture in Germany is. Thank you so much, Professor.
That's correct.
Now coming to an important question, sir. What kind of jobs are there with regards to the thermal and hydropower engineering in Germany?
You know, in Germany we have several big players in the field of power engineering. I think you all might know Siemens Energy or, for example, MAN Energy Solutions. But besides them, typically for Germany, there are really a huge number of small and medium-sized enterprises, all successfully working in the field of thermal power engineering or hydropower engineering. Mm-hmm. And this is especially true for Bavaria, the place where Amberg is located. Even hydropower, which in the last century played rather a minor role in German electricity system, so experiences a renaissance regarding pumped hydro systems. Okay. So although you might know currently German economics do not run quite well, all these small and medium-sized companies need young engineers in the field of development, manufacturing or sales to manage all these tasks, not least because my generation retires.
Yeah. Basically, Germany also needs students who can work in different power fields with regards to manufacturing, development and different maintenance sectors. In
maintenance, important issue, commissioning, you know, on the sites.
Yeah. Moving to the next question, sir. Many times such a job in such a field needs experience. How can OTH Amberg help students to gain this experience? Can students do jobs under professors or anywhere in the university, laboratories also?
Of course, you mentioned us, the professors. We are here in my laboratory of turbo machines, and we have about 30 laboratories of this size here. And of course, you as our former students can apply for a student's job in our laboratory to gain some experience. Besides this, you can apply for a work placement student in a company around us to gain some experience. Then you are better paid, I have to say. And another interesting way to gain experience is to carry out some master thesis in industry, in a company, which is very common for a University of Applied Sciences in Germany.
I also wanted to add this, that regarding the student jobs in Germany, the students can actually apply through direct email to the professors by requesting if anything is possible for doing a working student role or something. Then the second possibility that we have is the partner circle of the OTH Amberg website. You can see it on the screen, the partner circle website, and you can just look into all the companies and then contact the professors and ask or the Ansprechpartner, the people regarding this company, and ask them if anything is possible, any projects are possible. And then the third website is the OTH Amberg official job portal of the OTH Amberg. There are also laboratory posts and master thesis posts are also posted on this website. So this was the one thing that I wanted to add. The next thing that I also wanted to add, Professor, is the module project with seminar. In the IEE Masters course, we have this module called Project with Seminar, where students can select from a variety of topics mentioned on the website. And if they also want to do a topic of themselves, which is possible in our universities, in the laboratories also, then they can also contact professors and ask them if such a hydro or thermal power topic can be done as a project with the professor. So this is also one possibility that we have in the universities. So moving to the next question, sir, what companies are there in Bayern and in Germany in the context of hydropower?
Okay, well, although I mentioned that Germany is not a typical hydropower company, but there is one big player in Germany in the field of hydropower. It's called Voith, about 200 kilometers to the west of us. And Voith is developing and manufacturing the very big hydropower turbines and selling them all around the world. One of my first mechanical engineering student is working there, designer of hydropower turbines. There are of course many other smaller or medium-sized enterprises in the field of hydropower, especially in Bavaria. For example, Osberger. It's about 100 kilometers to the southwest of us, and Osberger is developing cross-flow turbines. We call them Osberger turbines. You might know them as Mitchell or Bunke turbines. Another third example, Dive turbines, also in Bavaria, a bit far away, 250 kilometers to the west. And there are many, many other examples of small and medium-sized companies in the field of hydropower, especially in Bavaria, because we have the hills, and their hydropower is more present, more interesting. Yes, well, so there are many opportunities to work in the field of hydropower, especially in Bavaria, in our neighbor country Austria, or in Switzerland, around the Alps.
Since the students come here for studying, and since they live in Amberg or in nearby region, they would look for companies which are nearby. So in Amberg, do we have such a company where students can work?
To be honest, not in hydropower, but there is a company, DEBRAG. It's about 500 meters to us. And DEBRAG started 25 years ago with my support to develop small turbo generators for waste heat recovery in industry. And today you can buy a turbo generator, again set up to 250 kilowatt power from DEBRAG. And DEBRAG is also a partner company in our partner circle, Megh already mentioned. And so they are also employing students from us in a work placement system, but also of course as ready engineers for developing.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Professor. So my next question to you, Professor, is what skills should the students have to land a successful full-time job in the hydro or thermal power sector in Germany?
Good question, Megh. But I think you have just managed to finish your studies with us. You already started to work in a German company. I think you are best to answer this question out of your personal view.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir. So according to me, I think the first and the foremost important thing is the German language, because if you want to work in a German company, then you have to know what the things are called, how is the process called and everything. So German language is the first important thing. It's not just the level A1, A2, B1, B2 or C1, C2. If you can speak and if you can understand it, what the boss or what the professor or what the colleagues are telling, then you have big opportunities for you in the German company. Yeah. So the second thing after the German language which is important is the engineering competence. Whatever the professor teaches you in the TET modules or any other hydro or thermal power modules is directly regards to the applications that we use in the industries. The problems that the professor gives us in the examinations are directly dealing with the problems that you will deal in the power plants, whether it is manufacturing, maintenance or something. So engineering competence is the second important thing which you should know, and you should know how to apply them in the real life conditions. This is the second thing. The third, last but not least, are the softwares, because the mankind is moving towards AI era and machining and computing era. It would be really very useful if the students would have some knowledge about Python and Microsoft Excel, because if the companies are telling students, the employees to do a repetitive task, then these two softwares which also concerns AI and repetitive tasks would be very helpful for the students if they are starting the full-time job in such companies. So this is my suggestion, sir.
Thank you to you, I totally agree.
Thank you, sir. Lastly, what are your suggestions and expectations from all the foreign students who come to OTH Amberg, sir?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to point out that we have really the utmost respect for your decision to travel thousands of kilometers to leave your families, your friends, in order to study here with us in international energy engineering. That's really a very big step, I think, for all of you. But then, if you are ready to do this step, do also please the second step. Accept the maybe for you strange conditions here, our requirements, and work hard and continuously from the very beginning. That's quite important. I urge you, please arrive before the 1st of October. Do not miss 4, 6 or 8 weeks, because then you miss so much of the content that your studies might end before they actually started. Yeah. That's a very important point. You know, the attendance in the lectures, in the weekly lectures, is voluntary, so you do not have to attend. But the attendance of the practical courses in the laboratories, here for example the laboratory course, is you have to attend them, and if you miss them in 1 year, you can only attend them the next year. Though please keep this in mind. We try of course to support you, but we cannot change the form of our studies and the organization of our studies to individual wishes. That's an important message. So far, I'm really looking forward to meet you in October, to teach you in TET or in hydropower. These are my topics in the IEE, IEE you call it, IEE, yeah, you call it. And of course, I have to point out at the end that what I mentioned have been my personal considerations as a 25-year university teacher. It might not always be the official statement or meaning of our university, but I think I'm rather close to this. Yeah.
It's
so
absolutely.
thank you very much for getting this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. All your suggestions, all your observations, and with your wisdom and experiences, the information you provided through this video for the upcoming students would really be very helpful, and they would really surely understand what are the prerequisites, what are the expectations of the professors and the universities, and everything around here, how is it going to be worked out when you come here. So thank you so much, Professor, once again for your precious wertvolle Zeit. This was really very important. Thank you so much, viewers, for your precious time also. I hope this video was useful, helpful and informative in some other way. And thank you so much once again. We meet in the next video. Until then, all the very best and Jai Hind.